What's up everyone, how's it going? So Dennis Brandval, who is the lead design director for Star Wars Battlefront 2, has stated, I think like a few months ago, that now that all the 4 Clone Wars heroes that everyone has been asking for were finally released, he said that the team can start focusing on other things like balancing and new reinforcements and then other things. So in this video I have a list of my top 5 reinforcements that I would love to see come to Star Wars Battlefront 2 at some point. Now none of these are in any particular order except for the last one, because that last one is my number 1 that I do want to see in the game. But we'll jump right into it with my first one, and that is going to be what I like to call a basic bounty hunter. Now this is an idea I came up with that most likely will not happen, but what I would like to see is basically this is going to be a new bounty hunter class, and this is going to be one character, but it's going to have a bunch of different skins that you can go along with this. So you can have like the Zuckuss skin or the Dengar skin or the IG-88, which I really want. And basically all of these will carry the same weapons, the same abilities, and the same star cards and all that. But basically this will just allow them to make a whole bunch of different bounty hunters, but without having to make them individual heroes. They'll just simply make him a reinforcement and just have them have a bunch of separate skins for it. They could even do this for like a Clone Wars era thing where you could have what a lot of people are calling a basic Jedi. And this would obviously have the same concept or idea where you have the same abilities, the same weapon, obviously a lightsaber, but you get to choose what color that lightsaber is, what hilt it is, and then what your Jedi looks like. So I think something like this for bounty hunters would be pretty cool. The most work they would have to do is making all the separate skins, but I think it'd be a nice addition to the game. But next up on my list is a character that we just got revealed in Fallen Order when the trailer got released, and that is going to be the Purge Troopers. Now when these did get revealed in the trailer, a lot of people were thinking that these were clone troopers from Order 66 that survived and they just turned into advanced soldiers, especially because their helmets look exactly like the paratrooper outfit that you saw in Revenge of the Sith that the clone troopers wore. But unfortunately, this was not the case, and it was confirmed that these guys were not clone troopers, they were just stormtroopers. That really does suck. I was really hoping that they were clone troopers, because I think that'd be kind of a nice detail, especially because this game takes place just a few years after Revenge of the Sith, so surely there's some clone troopers still around. But back on to the main topic of the video, I think these guys would be a really cool reinforcement. They use what looks exactly like the Magna Guard staff, so if it is the same, that'd be pretty cool, as well as they do use a blaster, so they could probably have it where you're allowed to use either one, just depending on which one you want to use. And then for abilities and stuff, we'll just have to really wait until Fallen Order comes out to see what they could do with it. But unfortunately, one of the developers, I think it was Jay, said that they want to keep Fallen Order separate from Battlefront 2. So because of that comment, it's not looking like we're going to be getting any new reinforcements or heroes from that game, which really sucks, but it does make sense from a business standpoint, considering they will most likely want people, to buy Fallen Order and not just play Battlefront 2. But at the same time, this is a top 5 list, and those guys would be really cool, so maybe they can change their mind sometime down the road. So next up on my list is something that a lot of people have been requesting as well as speculating about, and even one of their weapons was found in the files a few months ago. So there is a high chance that these guys are coming, and these are of course the Republic Commandos. Out of all the reinforcements on the list, this is probably going to be the one that has the highest chance of getting into this game. So Republic Commandos, obviously they had their own game back in 2005, and you played as the Delta Squad, and they instantly became a fan favorite. I mean, they just looked awesome, they had awesome weapons, they had awesome abilities, so overall, there was like no downside to adding these guys to the game. They would be a perfect counter to the Droidekas, because at the moment, if you saw my video yesterday, the Droidekas have no counter, so we're not really sure what's going on there. So my speculation is that the Republic Commandos or Delta Squad are going to be the counter to those guys. But there's just a lot they can do with them in terms of abilities and weapons and all that. Obviously, they have their assault rifle, which is the DC-17M, which, like I said earlier, was found in the files, and that is actually interchangeable, so they can change it to a sniper rifle, as well as a grenade launcher, I believe. And what's really cool is you could actually do this with Jyn Erso in Battlefront 2015, so they can even port over some coding for that to allow that to happen in this game as well. And then this would actually also be a really good way for DICE to make some money off of this, because it could be the first time they introduce new skins for a reinforcement. This is something that a lot of people have been asking, because for the Aerial class, like the Clone Jet Trooper, there's a lot of different skins that you can add for them, especially with the ARC Troopers. You can have Phase 1, Phase 2, and then have just different styles on the helmet that people would most likely be willing to pay for. So with Republic Commandos, it could have a whole bunch of skins that have variants that look like Boss, Fixer, Scorch, and then all the other guys in there. And then they could actually have the basic one where it's just that white or gray color and there's no paint on it or anything. So I think this would be a really good way for DICE to make a little bit of extra money off of them. And then this would be a great way to bring back old players as well as add in a ton of new people who were a fan of the game back in 2005. So that is the third reinforcement on my list. Now, these next two are kind of combined together because they just counter each other perfectly. This is something I've been asking for quite a long time now. Ever since the game got revealed, I've been asking for these two guys, and that is going to be the Magna Guards, and then they could be easily be paired with the Jedi Temple Guards. Not only do these guys look really cool, they actually have a really unique playstyle, and there's a lot of similarities between the two, being they both have a double-bladed staff. So the Jedi Temple Guards obviously have their yellow double-bladed lightsaber, and then the Magna Guards have their staff. As for abilities, I'm not 100% sure on what they could do. I do know that the Magna Guards did also use a blaster, so that maybe they can have that as an ability. For the Jedi Temple Guards, I'm not really too sure. Maybe they can have some basic force powers. I have seen some people complain about this whenever I request them, saying it's not going to make sense for the Temple Guards to be there because they're for Coruscant only, and I just don't agree with that. I think because this is a game, it's going to be okay, because it's just for fun overall. You know, we've got Rey fighting on Naboo, and then Darth Maul fighting on the Death Star. You know, nothing in this game really makes sense. It's all just for fun. And the same thing could be said about the Magna Guards. You know, why are they playing whenever General Grievous isn't on the battlefront? So I think it would just make the game a whole lot more fun, and that's really all that matters. But I'd like to hear your thoughts down below about my top 5 list of reinforcements. What are your top 5s? Do you agree with mine? Do you disagree? What would you change about it? Just let me know in the comments. But that is pretty much going to do it for today's video. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, be sure and leave a like. It really helps out the channel a lot. And if you're new, subscribe for more Star Wars news, gameplay, and more. And I'll hopefully see you in the next one.